The best in e-commerce. You're listening to E-Commerce All-Stars with Josh Marsden.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? So I've got Curt Maly here for E-Commerce All-Stars. We've got an incredible episode lined up for you today. Now, Curt is really no stranger to the internet marketing world. He's one of the authorities when it comes to internet marketing, period. But he really does specialize in Facebook ads, funnels, and chatbots. And he's really grown a following when it comes to those subjects. He is here to talk about chatbot marketing and some sound strategies that are working really well that have produced enormous results for his clients with his agency and also his coaching work. A bit about Curt as well. He's also a speaker. He's spoken on stage with Dan Kennedy, Eben Pagan, and Robert Kiyosaki. And he actually just finished at the Chatbot Marketing Conference and spoke at that conference as well. So I'm really excited to have Curt here on the show. He's got some incredible content to go over with you. So Curt, welcome to E-Commerce All-Stars.
Thanks. Appreciate it. E-commerce. Love e-commerce clients. Love it, love it, love it. Especially when you're dealing with some Amazon stuff. But yeah, let's talk about some e-commerce ventures.
Nice, man. Nice. So I'd love if you could just maybe reveal some more backstory as far as like who you are, how you got started. And it'd be great if the audience can kind of get to know you a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, my name's, excuse me, I got a little allergies. I'm here in Austin, Texas. That's what typically happens here. Again, my name's Curt Maly. I live here in Austin, Texas. I co-founded a company called Black Box Social Media, who's been around for a little over a decade. And basically the elevator speech is we've worked with a lot of the who's who in the internet marketing. So we've done some consulting for early on days when Ryan Dice and those guys were first starting out over at Digital Marketer. Molly Pittman, I was working with her when she was first an intern, all the way on to I've run traffic for Russell Brunson, Eben Pagan. I've spoken on the stage with Eben Pagan. We mentioned Dan Kennedy. We've worked with some of our clients have been Lead Pages, ClickFunnels, San Antonio Spurs, reality TV stars, real estate people, local businesses. So moral of the story, we've been doing this for over 10 years. We work with small businesses, medium businesses, large personalities, interesting personalities, and startup businesses. So if you're starting from scratch, we can help you out as well too. But I do have to say, and I'm not just saying this just because I'm on here on this podcast, we work with a lot of different interesting people, but a couple of our favorite clients have actually been featured on Shark Tank. And they've taken that business, put it into the e-commerce world, and like some of our favorite all-time clients. So I'm going to talk to you about a couple of case studies where really if we set up some easy reminders for any type of business, let alone e-commerce, man, sky's really the limit here. So I love playing with this stuff. And the last thing, I'll just wrap up. I have an ad agency with 15 employees. It's in Nebraska. I speak on stage. I have group trainings. I have digital trainings. So I can give you a whole breadth of perspective of what works and what doesn't. Did I cover that?
Yeah, no, that was great, man. I mean, guys, Curt here, he truly is an all-star. I mean, he's worked with, some of the biggest names we've heard in the entrepreneur world, the internet marketing world. I mean, he definitely is a leader, and I am so glad that he decided to come on the show because I know just how impactful he is because I've gotten to know him over the past few years, and every time I spend time with him, I see nothing but value being his friend and, learning from him. And so I know you're going to feel that today as well. So yeah, Curt, how did what caused you to get started? I know you've been doing this for quite some time, but what was like the origin behind you getting started with, Black Box Social Media, and, the rest of your entrepreneurial journey?
So what ended up happening is I was working for this company called Microsoft. At the same time, I was doing consulting for a company called Apple. This is through another consulting agency, and I worked from this big cog called corporate America. Decided I'd get into real estate, and as I got into real estate, I bought a house in beautiful Glendale, Arizona as my vacation home. I bought it for 3 times what it was worth. Yep, I do love that city. But when the real estate market crash happened, I started to use some online advertising for my own real estate business and a business opportunity I was in at that time. And when the real estate market essentially crashed and burned, everything happens for a reason. Started working with a couple of small businesses. Within 2 to 3 weeks, I met somebody by the name of Mike Dillard. This was an individual who had made over $35 million at the time that I'd met him when we were the same age. So I was very interested in listening because I wasn't broke, but I was underfunded. At that time, Mike helped us put together our first digital training program that we were going to split the proceeds. And when it came time to split the proceeds, Mike just said, well, why don't you run my Facebook ads? So then I went to this local party that I know that you know very well, which is called the Internet Marketing Party. And I went to the Internet Marketing Party, and people say, well, Curt, what do you do? And I go, well, I run Mike Dillard's ads. This guy had made a bunch of money online. So they're like, well, you run his ads because of my relationship with him. Why don't you run my ads? Well, all of a sudden now I'm running ads for who's who. Fast forward 10 years, and that's really just spawned an entire different lifestyle for me. You know, it's all about not necessarily what you know, it's all about who you know. But the other thing is I mean, you know this, you've been doing this long enough. It's all about just how consistent you are. So it never ceases to amaze me, no matter when you're watching this video, if you're watching, you know, the replay from a week ago or 2 years ago, I show up to these parties, many of the same parties that you and I go to. And I know that you get the same thing where people are like, oh, you are so lucky. You got to work with so-and-so, you went to so-and-so place, you traveled here, you spoke here. And all it is because we're consistent. That's it. So if you really want to be in business a good long time, just a couple of years in online marketing, make some great money, it's you know, it's just being consistent, using some small little skills, but I ain't any smarter than anybody else. Just diving in and being consistent. Man, I love this business. You hear that in my voice as we go through this a bunch.
Totally. I agree, man. I mean, you know, you have to have discipline, consistency, obviously, you know, a lot of work ethic, you know, you have to have character because, you know, when you're a business owner, you know, your face is on the company. And so what you do and what you sell and what you say means a lot and reflects back on you. So, but you know, that's why you've been so successful, is because you bring all that to the table. That's why you've got 10 years behind you of success, which I, you know, really do just appreciate and envy about, you know, you and what you've done over the past 10 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I really do. I really love this business. You know, I originally grew up, long story short, I originally grew up in Nebraska, and I saw my friends go to the factory, get married, or go to the factory, go work at the factory, get married, go to college, have kids, and that was the rest of their life. And I'm like, I want to go explore the world. So as I came to Austin, Texas, got in this online business, I've got the chance to work with, befriend, get to know some really interesting individuals. And there's nothing more gratifying for me is to when someone walks up and they're like, dude, I listened to you on this podcast. I watched this one video. You gave me this one idea. It set off this whole domino effect of my life. I'm here right now. I want to tell you thank you. That's my goal really today too, is I want to be able to have you be able to take action. It's one of my best rewards that I get to do. So I get to be paid for this and work with great people. And yeah, I love this business.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I know you love e-commerce, and that's why I brought you on to e-commerce all-stars here. You know, what is some of your, what's that?
Some of my favorite clients.
So tell us about some of, you know, the successes you've had with some of your clients in e-commerce.
Yeah, we have a Shark Tank client, or a former contestant on Shark Tank. When they came to us, they're in the shoe business. I think they're around $2.5 million a year, maybe a little below 2 million. Now they're going to reach a little over 10 million this year. A lot of the growth has really been through Facebook, and it's really all about running stories. Now, we're really fortunate because the owner of that company can tell some great stories, but it's also all about kind of the hooks, of course, in the story. Now, some of the other clients that we've just absolutely just love working with, again, are some other Shark Tank clients that can even be just even lower price points where you're selling stuff that's $15, $20, $30. Now, the thing is typically when you sell those lower price points, it's really tough unless you're bundling things the right way and you're getting people to reorder on a regular basis. And what that really takes is telling a story. You know, what a lot of people do is which you'll hear me talk about in a second, is a lot of people will start up a whole bunch of cold ads for their e-commerce stuff. And if you're going to trim about 90% of your fat from your ad, the problem is people get up all these brand new ads, then they're going to retarget all of that traffic. When they start to retarget all of that traffic and they trim 90% of your fat, it's kind of like a pig rolling around in its own filth that then goes from your cold ads to your website to retarget. And you're like, why does my retargeting not work? So one of the biggest things that you'll see, and you'll see in my case example of reminders, what we've really gotten good at is on the e-commerce level is direct sales is great. But as we build a story, an internal story, and you're going to see how I do that literally for $1 a day, as we really build a good internal story, most people screw up the bottom of the funnel and the middle of the funnel. Well, now we're literally able to run ads for, like the Shark Tank client I was mentioning before, $1 a day for the right-hand side. Well, that sounds dumb. But if we sell 10 shoes a day for $1 for the right-hand side, the bottom of the funnel is working pretty well. And we'll talk about some of those here in just a minute. So
yeah,
I think the biggest opportunity in e-commerce is middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. And I think most people screw that up in a big way.
Yeah. You know, it's funny that you say that, because I see probably the biggest screw ups at the top of the funnel, because e-commerce owners, and from what I've seen in our clients or just companies that I've, observed, they really have a hard time, coming up with content, their story, the top of the funnel, to be able to attract people to their business. So this way they could sell them into their products. Well, I know you've got an incredible, training and presentation on some incredible case studies. So I don't want to hold you back. Do you want to go ahead and dive into that?
Yeah, absolutely. So just to set the stage for this. So I spoke like 3 days ago, at the world's first Messenger conference. And this is Messenger. I'm going to give you some updates. So Messenger means, of course, inside a Facebook Messenger. But as you watch this presentation, one of the big ahas that they released at this presentation, we didn't even talk about this before we turned on the camera, is this. Messenger can be used and will be used in conjunction to WhatsApp or Instagram messages, or there's other platforms that use messaging as well. So by learning how to communicate with people through Messenger, especially using something like ManyChat, and that's what I'm going to be focused on, is the software around deploying inside of Messenger to run these chat bots or messages. I like to hang my hat on ManyChat, ManyChat. That is a conference that I spoke about this last weekend. But ManyChat's now going to be a medium that you're going to be able to, as they tap into the API, they're now going to be able to start working on other platforms. So now you'll be able to message your customers for e-commerce. Let's say they go to the shopping cart and they leave. That's it. Well, now they can get an instant message that's delivered to them right through their, it's not Typeform. I was trying to think of the other blog system that most people are on, not Typeform. Anyway, it'll message you directly. What's the big blog form that a lot of tech people are on? Starts with a T. Telegram? Telegraph?
Telegram, I think.
Yeah, it's either Telegram or Telegraph. But that's where they originally started out with Messenger, and then they developed towards Facebook. But what's going to happen is now Messenger, ManyChat's going to have one centralized place that'll be able to message all these different platforms at the exact same time. That's awesome. You'll really cut through the noise.
Huge. That's going to be huge. There's so much ROI just with some basic implementation once that is unlocked. E-commerce companies have so much to gain from that. I mean, every company really, but e-commerce companies for sure.
So the case study I'm going to talk about here in just a couple of minutes is how we spent under $1,500 to make $57,000. Let me show you how that works.
Damn.
All right. So here's how we're getting results. Now, I'm just going to kind of dive through. This is literally the exact same presentation. By the way, this is the same presentation that I delivered when I was at ManyChat. So actually, I'm going to move this over. You may lose my screen. Tell me if you lose my screen. So again, my name is Curt Maly, co-founder of Black Box Social Media. We've spent well over 8 figures in Facebook advertising over the last 10 years. Have a lots of stories along the road, but I'm going to make it really specific to e-com here today. We share this stage on events with, like I said, Damon John, Robert Kiyosaki, Evan Pagan, GKIC. Well, why I bought? Well, see, most new clients' funnels are broken. We were actually just talking about this before we even started the presentation, where so many clients, they don't really know how to create a funnel. So I love bots because we're going to use the term bots. And by the way, if you've never really not familiar with that term, we're talking about automating the process inside of Messenger. I don't really like to say bots too much. It's going to be in the presentation because people think it's really complicated when it's not. This is really a simple place, a ground floor opportunity, literally kind of like lead pages or ClickFunnels has become, where people now can instantly start up a website. Well, now you're going to be able to instantly automate some of your customer service. Well, that's just like automating a funnel. So most people skip the most important processes when building their funnels, and most people think that advertising can save their funnel, and they waste a bunch of ad spend, which we pretty much talked about that exact same thing as well. So
yes, we did.
What's a bot-advertiser? Josh, in my opinion, this word is going to be used a lot over the next 12 to 18 months. You're going to see the hashtags around it. Companies will be hiring bot-advertisers because These are the people that are going to understand and know how to market directly to people to start a conversation. Mm-hmm. See, Facebook overall, when we're running advertising, as you already know as a Facebook advertiser, we can have videos and we can target videos and we can set the objective for people to watch the videos, which means we will target a group of people and that has a high probability to watch the video. Well, Facebook now also has the distinction of messaging directly. So this can be used top of funnel, middle funnel, or bottom of funnel. And excuse me for that. Sorry. And what happens is Facebook will actually optimize to people who have a high probability to engage with your messenger. So now we have a way for people to watch videos, or if we have a website for people to click to a website, or maybe some people just like to click with Messenger because they can easily correspond with their thumbs to make purchases. So again, you're going to see this over and over and over. You can quote me on this, but I know that you're going to hear the word bot-advertiser over the next 12 to 18 months, so I consider myself as well too, because how many people are marketing with bots? Now, what we need to talk about first is funnel objectives. So we're going to talk about tofu, not this kind of tofu, but basically it's top of funnel and middle of funnel and bottom of funnel. See, what happens is top of funnel, the objective is the awareness. We were just talking about this too, is you had said that, hey, a lot of people screw up the top of funnel awareness. I agree. Don't know how to tell the right stories. And basically what we're doing is we want to bring awareness about your product and service. And if you're in e-commerce, we got to make sure that there's almost a direct line. Now, we all know that people don't buy the first time that they see your product. So we got to make sure that awareness is not expensive and it keeps moving people down the funnel. And we want to make sure if we get the right awareness, I mean, the easiest part is when someone is searching for your exact item. I am looking for a pen. Okay, then you're really just looking at a conversion because someone just needs to make a buying decision. But if we can give people the awareness that this is one of the greatest pens out there, we're going to have a much bigger market, of course, to tap into. Now, the top of funnel objective is the idea behind top of funnel content is to begin building trust by helping the prospect with questions related to the issue that can help them solve. Okay, well, I'm going to show you how bots are going to help answer some of these basic questions and even just set up a reminder that can make a huge difference. Now, the content may not talk about the exact problem that your product solves, which is fine. I mean, really what we're talking about is top of funnel marketing. Now, middle of funnel is, here are the options for solving the problem. I think a lot of people screw up the middle of funnel because what they want to do is they want to run a bunch of ads, and they're looking to run a bunch of ads top of funnel to say, click on my website, buy. Well, why did they not buy? Well, here's the deal. Facebook big data has come out about 9 months ago that says that clicks and click-through rate, a high click-through rate and lots of clicks does not influence brand awareness, purchase intent, or actually purchases. Well, I thought we were supposed to get lots of clicks and people to come to the page. No, those are just clickers like window shoppers. What happens is an awareness happens and a consideration happens. And what happens is we just don't track the overall what they call attribution. So we have to be able to tell a story multiple times to people with multiple touch points, but we have to make sure that they're just not buy my shiny stuff. Hey, 10% off my shiny stuff. Did you buy my shiny stuff? Did I tell you that there's 10%? There's 15% off my shiny stuff. Customers have really outgrown this, and you're seeing even this in the McDonald's marketing and the Walmart marketing. Mm-hmm. They're not just showing here are the lowest prices of today. They're also showing here's the culture. Here's what we're doing to make changes. Here's how we're adapting to the market. Here's some of the behind the scenes. That's a consideration that aligns with brand loyalty to have someone purchase over and over again.
You're listening to E-Commerce All-Stars. We'll be right back after this message.
E-Commerce All-Stars.
Do you want the best results possible for your business using Facebook advertising? By listening to this show, you know the impact that listening to some of the best and brightest in e-commerce can have for your business. Right now, you can do the same for your Facebook advertising in Josh's powerful new book. In this book, some of the best Facebook advertisers for e-commerce that have collectively spent millions on advertising have revealed their powerful strategies and tips for getting the most out of every dollar spent on Facebook ads. Every contributor has also given their wisdom on how your business can stay ahead of the trends happening right now so you can win into 2019 with Facebook ads without risking advertising dollars. Molly Pittman, J. Trevor Chapman, David Schloss, Sam Bell, Josh Marsden, and many more have truly given their best stuff in this book, Facebook Advertising Trends and Strategies for E-Commerce, the 2019 edition.
The best in e-commerce. E-commerce All-Stars.
I think this is a kind of a good insertion point here because, like we talked about early on, a lot of e-commerce businesses struggle with every aspect of the funnel. I know we both have had, different experiences there, but, why do you think that's the case? And what can e-commerce business owners do to change their approach? Because I feel like that, the root cause of their challenges, their struggles has been like their approach and their mindset. Would you agree with that?
100%. Right here, for example, this middle of funnel, most people skip it. It's interesting. I have one client who's in who's a doctor in the medical niche. They're basically like, hey, we have to put in $1 and make $3. Well, top of funnel is awareness. Top of funnel, most of the days in the 50s, 60s, 70s, as history repeats itself, top of funnel is essentially billboards for brand awareness. People can't click on a billboard. They can't buy anything billboard. Why would someone spend 5, 10, 30, 100 grand on a billboard? Well, they can it builds awareness overall. So we never expected to break even on awareness. Companies never have. But now as a small entrepreneur, we believe this magic money box called the Facebooks is that we put in $1 and make 10. Now it spoils us a little bit as e-commerce specific. If you have products on Amazon, people are searching for those products. It's very different when you're raising awareness for those people. I mean, come on, they come onto Amazon looking to shop and to buy. They're not looking to come on. They are looking to come onto Amazon to price compare. That's consideration.
Yeah, it's all about intent.
Right, but they're not coming on to Amazon to just kind of discover you out of the blue. That's what Facebook really helps for.
Totally.
And the problem is most people, I think, confuse, Josh, just to be open, I think they confuse consideration over awareness. Yeah. Because a lot of people are like, you should like my shiny stuff. Why don't you like my stuff? It's 10% off. It's 15% off. You never gave me a reason why to like your shiny stuff. Who you are, what you do. Yeah. Any of that stuff.
I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah. So I think that's the big missed opportunity for e-commerce right now. Yeah. And again, I'll say one last thing to wrap it up here on this slide. It's so many people get spoiled by Amazon. Amazon's a great source, but you got to learn how to run your own traffic and bring your own awareness. And then literally with the right ad campaign, you could run it for years. But as many of you know in e-commerce, as Amazon gets shut down, depending on the support level that you may or may not have, it could be days, weeks, or months before you get that one store back up. So it's all about being able to, really control the experience. I'm telling you, once you learn how to do this part, it makes a world of difference. So in the middle of the funnel, your prospects are aware of the solution of their problem. So they know that they have a problem and they're more interested than prospects top of funnel, but they just need to be nurtured a little bit further. They just need to find out a little bit of information from you to make that buying decision. Now, the content for the middle of the funnel should be educational and entertaining. And I'm going to show you how that works. And basically what happens is this. When someone has clicked on an ad, they've got to know about you. Now they have gone to your sales page. This is a bottom of funnel. So, hey, I've had enough information. I have now gone to the store, looked at the item, maybe even put it in my shopping cart. I'm going to start taking a look at bottom of funnel. Well, here's the deal. Bottom of funnel for people who've considered their options or ready to make a buying decision, right? I mean, these should be the easiest ads to set up. Most people really screw this up. So content for bottom of funnel should be encourage clicks to your sales cart and page to purchase through, ManyChat or any of your bottom of the funnel option. Now, here's the deal. Most people completely screw this process up. We talked about this just before the call. Most people start with top of funnel. The problem is if they start with top of funnel and then they're retargeting 80% of that traffic that they cut, now, like I said, that's like pig stuff rolling around in pig stuff. Well, now by the time they go to the bottom of your cart, you're just retargeting, basically going for a grab of 10% off, 15% off. No, you should absolutely start with the bottom of the funnel first. And specifically, here's what I mean by this. And again, this can work for Messenger. This can work for any type of e-commerce. But what I like to do is I start to do, okay, I'm going to test out right-hand side ads for $1 a day. And to be specific, this is going to be, I'm going to optimize if I have enough purchases. I'm going to optimize for purchases for add to cart, I'm going to optimize for purchases for $1 a day for right-hand side only. That's it. So $1 a day, right-hand side only, to people who have initiated cart checkout. And I actually have this written down, and you'll see this in the next slide. Add to cart or a sales page. Because see, what's happening is once someone lands on my sales page, again, I'm thinking about the very bottom of funnel. I now think, okay, the right-hand side ad can have a frequency of 5, 6, or 7. So it can just go high, 7, 10, 11, depending on whatever.
Yep.
So I can literally set up for $1 a day. All right, I'm going to set up for $1 a day. Here's my 10% off. Because the right-hand side is only going to be shown on the desktop. The right-hand side can have more text than you can have in your news feed. You just can't have a video on the right-hand side anymore. But use right-hand side for $1 a day. So I might do $1 a day, right-hand side, literally, again, $1 a day, right-hand side for one image. Or what I love to do is I'll do a dynamic ad, which I'm sure that other people have talked about, but and I know this is a little bit more advanced level we're talking about this.
You might want to define it just in case.
Yeah, absolutely. You do dynamic ad where essentially what this is if you run $1 a day for the right-hand side, you can say, here's my headline, here's my description, here's my image. Well, what happens after you set up that first ad, you duplicate the ad set. It'll allow you to do dynamic, what is it called? Dynamic, it's not dynamic images, dynamic ads. Dynamic ads. Yep. So what happens is what it'll say is dynamic ads. You can now click to the ad level. At the ad level, you can choose 10 images, 5 descriptions, 5 headlines. So what'll happen is now for $1 a day, what Facebook's going to do is they're going to try to figure out the 10 different images, the 5 different headlines, the 5 different descriptions. It's going to rotate them all like this. So your frequency is going to be like 10 or 15. It's going to be huge. Mm-hmm. But Facebook will find what that exact image is, again, for $1 a day. Or last kind of ninja tip here, what I do is I set up, for example, right-hand side ads. I'll set it up for $30 for 30 days. And what I'll do is I'll create, if you kind of just watch me for just a second, what I'll do is I'll create 15 different ad sets for $30 for 30 days. Each ad set has a different creative, but let's say this first creative might only turn on Monday between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. The second creative in the second ad set may turn on Monday from noon till 3 p.m. and that's it. So now I know that people are seeing that right-hand side over and over and over and over and over, but it's at a super low cost and they're constantly seeing different images until they buy, and then they're excluded from this retargeting. Does this make sense right here?
Yeah, that's actually very inventive, very interesting.
Isn't it? Because the thing is when I tell people $1 a day, and you kind of said this before we turned on the camera, and I love this, and I'm like, hey, I got $1 a day strategy, and you go, well, these guys are a little bit more advanced who are going to be watching this. And I go, I know, but I think people overspend. And it's interesting when you set these $1 a day ads up like this, you'll start to see, well, my frequency is only 1.5 for the last 2 days. Well, then turn it up. But if your frequency is 8 for the last 2 days, you can't really turn it up. And what Facebook ends up doing is they're literally laser targeting into the exact people to see this at the exact right time. So I'll do a right-hand side ad. I'll do it for a conversion ad. I'll even do it for an add to cart and a landing page, which you'll see here in a second.
Nice.
So a case study. So the case study that we basically do is we were contracted to build and manage a bottom of funnel campaign. It's bottom and middle of funnel. So this is, which Josh, I know you're familiar with the product launch formula, which just to recap with everyone else, it's like, hey, we got a new product that's coming out. We're going to talk about it. Could be for a week, could be for 3 weeks. And then it's, hey, you want to hear about this product? I got this video 1 to show you what this looks like. And this can be a video or email, but it's typically done with videos and emails. And it's like, hey, here's this amazing product that I have. And then, hey, in 2 more or 3 more days, you'll get a second video that's going to give you even more information. And then in a couple more days, you're going to get a third video that's going to give you even more information. It's going to give you the time to buy. And then we're going to release a 4th video. It's going to be the last video. It's going to tell you all the great things about our products and services and why you should buy it right now. And then we're going to close the doors. Well, what happens is they also throw in a webinar. They also throw in some additional information. So this is a little bit longer sales process. So you can use this for higher end sales. You can use this for coaching sales. You can also cut down this just a little bit. But the moral of the story, Josh, I want to get across here is this is 100% we have set up reminders for people who have already seen maybe a video, maybe a website. They're already part of our warm market. So to clarify, the warm market is someone who has watched a video of ours in the last 90 days, or they've landed on our website, or they've sent us a message, or they've emailed us, or they've engaged with our brand in some way that we can pixel them on Facebook. So we are not talking about a cold audience. But these audience have not been with us forever. They could have been with us for 5 years, or they could have just watched a video in the last 30 days, and now they're starting to see these reminders. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Great.
Very familiar with what you're talking about.
Great. I know you're very familiar with that. All right. So here's what it looks like. Now, the big thing is by the way, when I'm presenting at the ManyChat conference, is people are talking about, dude, I got 60,000 people in my messenger. We're like, wow, that's amazing. But what about people like who got like 20 or 30 or 50, right? Because a lot of people think you need a big list, which a big list is great if you don't communicate with them and you just kind of spam them all. But for a really small amount of people and a small amount of number of people, you can really do some really big things. So for example, we got 160 people engaged with our messenger. So what you're seeing right here, if you're not familiar with ManyChat, is you're seeing that we targeted what we like to call, and you'll see here in a moment, called our Hot 7 or our Hot 90. And what we did is we engaged with people over the last 90 days and the last 7 days, of the people who engaged with us the most in the last 7 days. And we basically set this up on a reminder. We got 160 people to come in. Now, doesn't sound like a whole lot, but hold on a minute and wait till you see the ROI on this. So what we did is we set up a bottom of funnel ad and a middle of funnel ad. This is for our Hot 7 or our Hot 90. Now what our Hot 7 is on Facebook is we retarget every conceivable way that we can in the last 7 days. If someone watched a 1-minute video, a 5-minute video, a Facebook Live, if they landed on our website, if they became a lead, if they bought something, if they engaged with our brand in any way, we create a saved audience that's all valid for the last 7 days. So as long as people keep seeing our content, every 7 days, they're going to keep seeing our content. If they don't engage or look at our content within 7 days, they will no longer see our content. Does that make sense so far, Josh?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, great. Now the Hot 7 is, depending on how much money you spend, the Hot 7, it's kind of like a smaller pool of people because we're talking 7 days. Now the Hot 90 is just going to be a larger pool because someone could have watched a video 89 days ago, and then all of a sudden they engage with my website on that 89th day. Well, that doesn't mean they're really engaged. That just means they kind of tripped upon our content over the last 90 days. That's a much bigger pool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run different ads to the Hot 90, okay? Because I know these people have seen our content. I'm going to start advertising in that group first, but the Hot 7 are going to see different ads. Moral of the story with these two audiences, we basically said to the smaller pool and the much bigger pool, hey, we got the special coming up. You want to sign up for messenger reminders so you never miss an important piece of content? Click send message button below to access a simple and easy way to keep updated on all the content as it gets released. Now, this can work great for e-commerce for loyalty programs. Hey, would you like to be updated the next time our product comes up? Hey, would you like to be able to receive, would you like to join our loyalty program that offers you an instant 20% off, and you can be updated as soon as our latest products comes out. So now you're handing in a coupon, and you got them on a messenger service where you've gotten their permission that as soon as a new product comes out, you can't constantly be spamming people. But if someone signed up for a loyalty program, you can send them a message to say, hey, our new product's out. If you'd like to find out more, click this link, which goes into another message. And then by the click of the thumb, they could buy it directly from there. Well, here's how we set up the reminder service. Essentially what we do is we set up these flows, pretty easy to set up. take a little bit of work. I know Josh is building a bunch of those out right now. And then as we did is we started to remind people, hey, you said that you wanted to be reminded, so we send out broadcasts, kind of like an email, except these push notifications show up instantly. I probably even have one right here. Yep, they show up instantly right here on your phone. So the push notifications show up on my phone, or they're getting alerted to people who are on Facebook, who are already basically on Facebook. They're getting alerted. But here's the thing, just like email, you can send a message that says, hey, my new special's out. But you're probably going to get, which is kind of hard to read in here, but what you're going to see is, for example, we sent 154 out, and I know this is hard to read, so I'll read it. We sent 154 messages out at cart close, and 144 people read it. So, wow, 94% open. But only 10% people click. So only 15 people click. So we're going to get a high open rate, but that doesn't mean they necessarily click. That doesn't mean they necessarily read the whole thing. So what you can do with Messenger, so imagine this, right? People have signed up for your loyalty program. You have sent a message out that says, hey, would you like to check out our new product? Click here for 10% off. They click here, they see another message, you give them 10% off. Well, if only 10% of people click to get the coupon, you got 90% of the people still out there. So now what you do is you create just a little bit different ad, but this time it's called a sponsored message ad inside of Messenger. This is an ad, and it's 100% deliverability based on a user-specific engagement. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to message people who went to my sales page but did not open my last message.
Nice.
So people went to my sales page. So there's not a lot of people there. We're talking maybe 40 or 50. But look at this. Oh, sorry. I always screw up this number. $1,157 is what we spent. We got 196 messages and not a ton. People are like, I can get messages for 30 cents. I don't need messages for 30 cents because messages for $5, $6, and $7 can help because they're part of our warm funnel. They've already gotten to know, like, and trust us. Now look at this. We got 26 sales. Each sale was a purchase. It cost us $44. Well, the big question comes down to how much was each sale? Each sale was $2,000. Josh, I know I don't have to be a brain scientist or a mathematician, but would you pay $44 for $2,000, and would you do it 26 times?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what awesome. This is right here, this is $1,100. That's 26 sales. That's $2,000. That's 4,400% ROI. But the big thing is now we have a reminder mechanism that this client right here, for example, is now doing a live event. Well, they know exactly who to message about the live event and when. Now, what I have here, and Josh, this is basically what this is right here. This is really interesting. By the way, at the Messenger Bot Conference, you're going to love this. But Josh, what ends up happening, if you guys can watch my screen as I hold up my phone, this guy comes up to me at the Messenger Conference, and he basically says, Curt, I had someone on my business card. I had my wife overnight my business cards, and found out no one really uses business cards anymore. And I'm like, I know. So let's just show you a really easy way to do this. Now, I know a lot of people don't use QR codes. I've never been a fan of QR codes, but this is really interesting. You can do the exact same thing for your business. Now, by the way, with this the code that you have up that you see on here, I even carry mine around. That's my business card. I don't know if you can see that on my phone at all, but that is essentially my business card. It's a different QR code than what you see on there. But essentially what happens when someone's like, hey, Curt, I want to connect with you, I open up my phone and I give them the following instructions, and I want you to do the same thing. So go ahead and open up your iPhone Messenger. And what's going to happen is you're going to go ahead and open up your Messenger. When you open up your Messenger, I don't know if you can see this on your screen, your Messenger is going to basically look like this. And at the very bottom left-hand side, the second option is going to be people, which is going to be right down here, people. So if you get down at the very bottom, you'll see people. Now what's going to happen is at the far top left-hand side, you're going to see scan code. Now what happens is when you go scan code, right? Hey, you're going to see my face, right? That is scan code. And what you're going to be able to do is anytime you're hanging out with someone, whoops, there's a little button at the very top that says my code. See, so what happens is when you're standing next to someone in Starbucks and you give your elevator speech, or you're actually on an elevator, you tell someone to open up Messenger, click on that code, you can hit scan code. They'll hit scan code like this, And then all you got to do is hit scan my code right there. So if you can do me a favor, hit scan code, highlight over that, it will instantly take you inside of Messenger. And what will happen is it'll give you this presentation. I didn't say this in public, someone bootlegged the presentation, by the way. And they recorded it live. I don't know if you know Big Jason from Jason Henderson.
Yeah, I know the name. I don't know him.
Yep, he's a legend in email marketing. So he recorded the entire thing on his brand new fancy iPod. So you can access my presentation. I see that Josh is doing that right now. You can access my presentation. Also, because I know I talk fast, I talk about $1 a day strategy. You can get my presentation. You can see a Facebook Live I just held today where I talk about all the updates. Plus, I put in 5 free trainings, not like $1 training, but I talk about $1 training, or I talk about $1 strategy. I talk about a video strategy. All that's actually inside the bot. So if you want to see how this works, you can take a picture with your phone right there, or you can check out my stuff on Social Media Ad Genius. And again, Social Media Ad Genius, or SMAG 2.0, is our fan page. And if you watch any of my videos, I'll retarget you anyway. So I don't like have a fancy opt-in or say, hey, you must give me your email address. If you want this presentation and the free training and to watch the video presentation, and if you want the free trainings, you can just take a picture of this with your phone. Do the same thing for your business.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, love it. Yeah, great presentation, great training, man. And that's a phenomenal case study. I mean, yeah, that's just phenomenal. And what were they selling, like, exactly?
So essentially what it is this is a consulting coaching program. So it starts out, I believe it's a 10 or a 12-week coaching process. Okay. So what happens is it helps take certain individuals in a certain niche from point A to point B. So a lot of times what happens is we overcomplicate stuff as marketers when we're like, oh yeah, we can do a ClickFunnels. Oh yeah, we can go ahead and throw up a video. Oh, Facebook ads easier. Oh, Messenger ads super easy. But you're talking to someone, for instance, let's just say they're a chiropractor, right? That's a great field, for example. Well, chiropractors like, I want to be a chiropractor. I don't want to learn code. And you're like, no, it's not code. It's ClickFunnels. It's really simple. And you're in this business. They're like, no, I don't want to do any of that. So what this organization basically does is say, hey, look, we're going to walk you over 12 weeks, show you how to set this up for this specific niche, and we're going to have a live event. So if you buy tickets to this, you also get tickets to the live event where they have additional coaching and stuff like that. So it's a really great, it's funny because I'm looking over on the right-hand side and I'm seeing my client who I'm talking about right now running an event for the ad right now. I just love talking about clients being on the side. That's awesome. Yeah, that's essentially what it is. Great.
That's cool, man. Great strategy, great process, some awesome tactics, awesome results, obviously. With e-commerce owners, how can they like adopt some of those same strategies? Like how for the people that are listening to this that maybe aren't as seasoned as you and I, that don't instantly like see how this can apply to their business, like what would you tell them? Basically?
Yeah, see the forest to the trees. So the first one is Shopify. I love Shopify. And it's always interesting to me as an agency when people are like, hey, Shopify is X, this other price is Y. I'm just going to go with this other price. And I'm like, I don't get paid anything from Shopify, but there's so many different plugins that you can use that are huge. Mm-hmm. So there's actually a Messenger plugin that you can turn on. I don't remember exactly what it's called. Josh, maybe you do. But essentially what happens is it'll go to the checkout cart, and then there's a little checkbox that's checked. And when you go to check out and you leave, what will happen is 3 hours later, you get a message inside of Messenger that says, hey, Josh, I noticed that you were looking at the brand new Michael Jordan sneakers that are coming out, but you left it in your cart.
Exactly.
You have 48 hours to buy at this discount. Mm-hmm. And it'll allow you to send one more message in the next 24 hours. It says, okay, there are less than 12 hours remaining for you to receive 10% off. Now, if they click a button, okay, so they've been to your checkout. Now, automatically a page is in Messenger. What can happen is literally they click a button inside the Messenger. They don't have to go to your website. If you have Stripe, they can actually purchase right inside of Messenger. So for e-commerce, hey, we noticed you wanted to buy these shoes. Click here to choose a different color, or click here to buy inside of Messenger. Click here to buy inside of Messenger. Screen pops up. put in your credit card, which is really short. If you ever filled out anything with Stripe, you know it's really short and easy to fill out.
Totally.
You fill it out. Because they already have you in the bot, most of your information is already matched up. You just confirm your address, confirm your email address, already has your name and everything. Go ahead and hit send, boom, instantaneously, and it's done. So now with e-commerce, what we're able to see is advertising inside of Messenger, reminder inside of Messenger. Last one right here, imagine this. So after 24 hours, if someone hasn't engaged with you, you cannot send them a message that says, hey, buy my shiny stuff. Here's a link for 10% off. But you can send messages that are of content at any time. So for example, what you can do is you can send out a message at any time because people have subscribed and signed up to get alerts for your ambassador program. So what happens is, now, when you have a new product that comes out, you say, hey, everybody, you are considered part of our ambassadors. Thank you so much. I just want to let you know we have a brand new product on Amazon, and I'm going to give you a one-time use code, one time, for you to get this coupon on Amazon. Well, we all know we can't just, like, we want to be able to hand out a code that's only a one-time use code. Well, now with Messenger, the greatest thing is literally you can set it up. This is a little bit more advanced, but you can set it up where this code is pulled directly from a Google Doc, and that code is eliminated every time it's used. So now your Messenger bot is following up with people, giving people a code. They can get the code. They can buy directly on Messenger, never talk to you. That's an easy setup just to do Shopify. So yeah, I love this bot stuff.
That's awesome. I know. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of robust features right now with ManyChat, and I'm sure the other, chatbot softwares have, some robust features that you can tap into to really be able to, leverage a lot of marketing power and a lot of marketing ROI for sure. It's amazing what's been happening over the past year just in ManyChat alone. But, I'm like I said, I'm sure like Chatfuel and some of the others are also developing their platforms too. But yeah, this has been great, man. And just to give the audience some feedback based off what you just said. So if you just type in a simple Google search for Facebook Messenger and Shopify plugin, boom, you'll see like some of those options coming up. So this way you can add Facebook Messenger fairly easily and quickly to your Shopify, store, and be able to leverage the power of using chatbot marketing, especially the low-hanging fruit, because like what we're talking about here with bottom of the funnel, I mean, just putting out some automated Facebook Messenger messages when people add to cart but don't purchase, or get to initiate checkout but don't purchase. I mean, they could be very powerful and they can yield, awesome ROI for your business. I mean, if you're not doing that and you're hearing this, you should be totally doing that right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, basically what kind of wrap this whole thing up is Messenger doesn't have to be complicated. It's not as complicated as some of these other CRM solutions. And what happens is we're just meeting people in a new way to communicate. So, Josh, for example, your son's how old's your son?
9. He's getting
9. Does he have a cell phone yet? I don't know how old.
No, I'm old school. I don't even know if he'll ever have a cell phone. I'm kidding. He'll probably have a cell phone when he's like 15 or 16.
So let me ask you this: How often do you chat with your son?
I mean, all the time. I have him 50-50. So I try to close out everything else that is going on in my life, usually when I'm around him. So this way I could really just give him quality time. So quite a bit.
Quality time. Now that's important. Now we're talking about the difference of quality time from, do I want to go to a website and figure out the buy buttons, there's a layout, everyone has a fancy new color, or can I just do this with my thumb? Like literally, like I've seen your pictures, you and your son go out on a bunch of different adventures together. So for you to be able to like, oh, I'm buying those Jordan shoes. Oh, my son just got dropped off. Oh, I got to run to the park. I promised him the park. I got to buy these shoes. I mean, come on. You realize as a dad, you're like, shoes are not as important as spending time with my kid. But now you're out playing ball and you get this reminder on your Messenger and you look on down and you've already bought something before. So you just can click a button and make it really easy, right? If you want to, like, you can say, hey, purchase on Amazon. So it's 2 buttons and a one-click buy. Mm-hmm. So literally as your kid's retying a shoe or finding the ball that he just got lost with, you just hit 2 other buttons. You are spending quality time. And what you're doing is you're looking at your phone for a couple of minutes, completing your purchasing, moving throughout life. And sometimes, as you and I said before we even jumped on here, sometimes it's a lot easier just to talk with people just with text. So what we're doing is we're actually sharing information. We're creating an entire customer service experience it becomes automated after a while. So you can go do your thing with your family that literally it's an automated process and you're engaging with a brand. It's not intrusive, 1 and 2 button clicks. And
I know.
It's
seamless.
Revolutionary.
Yeah, efficient, seamless, saves time. And we're in the, low attention
early
span,
days.
Time where people don't want to spend a lot of time, on purchasing, on different activities. They want something quick, easy, like you said. So this way people can spend quality time on what they like, whether it's their family or whether it's something else. So, and chatbot marketing is a big part of that. So, I'm glad that you highlighted that. Well, cool, man. Well, I know that we're kind of at the end here, but I've got a bonus round, and then I want to, make sure that the audience can follow you since, you've got a lot of value that you can provide to them, and I want to make sure that they follow you after this episode. So are you ready for the bonus round?
Absolutely. Let's do this.
Awesome, man. Okay, so here's the key. So the key is with these questions, answer them with one-word answers.
Got it.
Okay. What caused your biggest e-com success to date?
Ooh. Videos.
Nice. Okay. What got you through your toughest moments as a business owner?
Entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneurs. All right. How would you describe yourself?
Excited.
What's the one thing that e-commerce owners need to be doing right now?
Bots.
Awesome. And how does 2019 look for you?
Amazing.
Awesome. All right, cool. Well, thanks for, doing that bonus round. How can people follow up on this episode and follow you and learn more from you, and also, check out what you have to offer?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you haven't already done so, you can see my presentation still here. Go ahead and pick up your phone, or you can take a screenshot if you want to and use your QR code for your messenger. The other thing that you can do is, if you don't want to open up your messenger on your phone and take a picture, I understand. You can also go ahead and check out Social Media Ad Genius, or SMAG. But if you type in Social Media Ad Genius, you'll find a fan page. If you watch any of those videos for just a couple of minutes, they're all free training videos. And if you watch them, then you'll be picked up with my retargeting. So I don't need to collect your email address. Heck, you don't even go to my site. All you got to do is you can check out me on my personal page, Curt Maly, CURTMALY, or check out Social Media Ad Genius. And if you want to play along, you'll see how to do that. And I've got lots of free information for training out there anytime you want to check that out.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, go, to socialmediaadgenius.com. Definitely take Curt's direction there. Scan this code right here. This way you can opt into, his bot, get this presentation, get access to some incredible free trainings. It's a huge, free giveaway that Curt's giving you. So definitely check that out. Hey, Curt, man, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for being on E-Commerce All-Stars. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for listening to E-Commerce All-Stars. By learning from the best, you're saving yourself time, money, and pain from trying to figure it out all by yourself. You can save yourself time, wasted advertising dollars, and stress from your Facebook ads right now by claiming a copy of Facebook Advertising Trends and Strategies for E-Commerce, the 2019 edition. You can generate more results than you've ever experienced with Facebook ads. You can adapt to the current trends happening right now that are affecting business owners from getting the best possible results on Facebook. And you can discover how to scale your Facebook advertising results. All of this is possible for your business by learning from 13 of the best Facebook advertising experts in the world by claiming your copy of Facebook Advertising Trends and Strategies for E-Commerce, the 2019 edition. Thanks for listening to E-Commerce All-Stars.
E-Commerce All-Stars.